All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about here, we had our segment one. We talked about our WWE NXT Battleground review. We talked about our WWE SmackDown review as well. And now, without further ado, we are going to have our Monday Night Raw preview. So let's go ahead and dig on into that. So Monday Night Raw is live tonight from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. It's the final stop before Clash at the Castle. Tonight we're going to have Sami Zayn against Otis. Going to be awesome. It's going to be crazy to kind of see how this kind of goes here because Otis ultimately kind of screwed over Sami Zayn. But Chad Gable gets Sami Zayn at Clash at the Castle. So he's going to want Otis to soften him up. I feel like this match, well, let's see what other matches we kind of have on here. I can kind of see this. I don't know if it's going to be the main event. I honestly do not think it's going to be the main event, but it's going to be so darn close because I don't want to because obviously you kind of have Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest right now going at each other's throats, but I feel like this promo, this last little match you kind of have here before Clash of the Castle, if Chad Gable wins the WWE Intercontinental Championship at the PLE, this needs to be huge. This needs to be huge. This needs to be able to kind of fill the WWE Universe's minds that to see Sami Zayn, not Sami Zayn so much, but see Chad Gable as a winner. We already kind of see him as a winner. Well, not he loses key matchups. He loses key matchups, and I think ultimately the reason why he lost his chance at the Intercontinental Championship was because of himself. But I know Otis is a part of it. Alpha Academy, I do not know how long it's going to take, or I don't know if they're going to kind of find a way for Sami Zayn to be the leader of the Alpha Academy, which would be kind of silly. But and also with Chad Gable's contract, if I'm holding out for a contract and if WWE wants me, but AEW, it's been reported that AEW major ups and creative officers really, really want Chad Gable. So if you're WWE, you want to lock him up. I wouldn't want to see Chad Gable go to AEW. I would, speaking on behalf of a WWE job, like as a wrestling fan, I'd be like, dude, I can see him ripping up with like Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, the Patriarchy. That'd be pretty cool, dude. I can see that. But I don't know. It's this is a delicate right now. I feel like this tonight on Raw is going to set the stage for this Chad Gable, Sami Zayn future within the WWE. So should be pretty awesome. Next, we see Ilja Dragunov against Bron Breaker. Bron Breaker, his character has been renewed. I talked about it on my news segment on Friday's show because they saw the same thing I saw. It's trash. It's terrible. The way Bron Breaker has been, impeded inside of the WWE, a Monday Night Raw roster, and in his bookings, it's terrible. He deserves better. He's a talented athlete. I know right now I feel like right now Monday Night Raw, you kind of have your people that you kind of need to take care of. Storylines that, okay, where does Bron Breakker fit? Where does he fit? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense, and I get it. I get that 1,010%. But you have this guy in squash matches. You have the backstage attacks. It just doesn't look good. So WWE has stated that they are currently working on his creative, characters. So, looking forward to seeing what WWE has tonight against the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov. Next, we see Iyo Sky against Lyra Valkyria. These guys had a record-setting match, if you guys forgot about, in the WWE Queen of the Ring match. They fought on Monday Night Raw for a total of, I think it was over 9 minutes. It was the longest women's match in WWE history. So these girls are very impressive. These girls have enough weight to kind of push over the men in terms of the main event and stuff like that. So I don't understand why this match isn't a number one contenders match. Liv Morgan is looking for someone to face at Clash at the Castle. She's fought in a lot, Lyra Valkyria as well. Iyo Sky's gotten a piece of Lyra Valkyria. I feel bad for her, although she's been like definitely the rookie of the year. She should win that in the Slammies if the Slammies continue. They came back this year, so who knows? But this should be a number one contenders match. You have two former WWE NXT Women's World Champs going at it, and you want to find someone to fight Liv Morgan. So I feel like this match should be a number one contenders match, but like I said, I'm not I'm not a WWE creative. If I did, I would be great. Just kidding. This so kind of a sad story, and I know a lot of you guys have probably been paying attention to the news that this is Ricochet's final WWE appearance per sources. You know, I don't know how true it is. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with Ricochet. But all I know that WWE screwed over Ricochet. I feel like they kind of promised him gold. They gave him pennies. They gave him bronze. They gave him they gave him like the lowest of the low. Ricochet was very popular outside of the WWE. So I feel like, and like I said, this was kind of before, the main rise of AEW. I feel like they kind of took Ricochet as kind of like I don't want any threats, so I'm going to bring him on here and give him not give him that much credit or not give him that, great bookings. Kind of like when you're a little kid, when you see somebody playing with a different toy. And I have kids, so when you see someone playing with their toys, like I want it, and they cry and they plead about it, and when they finally get it, they don't know how to use it, they don't know how to play with it, they don't know how to ultimately bring the the spirit of the toy out to something that's absolutely great. That's something that happened to Ricochet, and I'm happy that Ricochet is leaving the WWE. 1,010%. Absolutely. He deserves better. Exactly. He deserves a hell of a lot better. Honestly, Little Fettuccine 68. Braun Strowman, I don't know why he's there as well. Honestly, don't. I kind of wrote down in my notes that this could possibly be an Uncle Howdy invitation. I feel like Uncle Howdy is going to be on WWE Monday Night Raw, not more or less because like the titles or the superstars on there right now, is because it's a 3 hour show. It's a 3 hour show. If you watched Bray Wyatt during his prime, during his Firefly Funhouse, where you had his promos, where you kind of had his random backstage bursts and stuff like that. It took time. It took time, and Raw is a 3 hour show. And Friday Night SmackDown's only 2 hours. So it'd be kind of, that's the only reason why I feel like Braun Strowman does make sense. But, like I said before, I'm not too hot on it. If he's not part of Uncle Howdy, I don't understand why WWE really signed him to feud with the Judgment Day, to fight JD McDonough, to fight Dominik Mysterio. That's nasty. That's terrible. That's bad booking. Definitely 110%. And I'm looking forward to seeing that match. Definitely. I want to see Ilja Dragunov against Bron Breaker. Ricochet, 110% deserves better. I feel like he's going to wind up on AEW and absolutely kill it. He's going to probably wind up at the TNT champion, or I don't know if he's going to, dethrone Swerve, but if he goes to AEW, I feel like he would 110% get better opportunities. And yeah, the Wyatt Six thing is gonna, yeah, without Bray, definitely without Bray Wyatt. Little Fettuccine 68 said, I don't know if the whole Wyatt Six thing is going to work without Bray. Um, I hope it does work, and I know Bo Dallas was Uncle Howdy, and he wants to, kind of, show the WWE that there's still some kind of like a dark, ominous, creative outburst. Something that Bray Wyatt definitely did really, really well. Kind of like you saw the Undertaker, kind of like how you saw Mankind when he came, when he turned into Mankind, when he was kind of like this scary figure, like Kane and stuff like that. Stuff that's kind of ambiguous to the crowd ultimately, and in terms of ambiguity comes your chance to kind of be comfortable with like a new style of creativity and stuff like that. So I hope this Wyatt Six things works. If it feels forced because of obviously WWE losing Bray Wyatt, I'm not saying it's going to diminish, or I'm not going to jump into, you know is he really doing his brother any favors? If he creates this, quote unquote, clone Wyatt family to avenge, his character, to avenge his death. Um, and if it fails, it would suck. So WWE has to be very, very, careful in terms of all this. Braun Strowman lost all the credit when he won the tag team titles with that child Nicholas. I remember watching that, and the referee was actually his father. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I remember they did have that Firefly Funhouse between that. I know it wasn't a Firefly Funhouse. I think it was like a lake. I don't know. It was really weird. It was a lake match that he had with Bray, and it was, it was kind of crazy when he had the Fiend there, but he didn't, he wasn't the Fiend at the moment. But yeah, honestly, love Little Fettuccine succeed 1,010%, my man. Next we have this Liv Morgan, Dominik Mysterio storyline that's kind of driving me a little bonkers because how many times are we gonna have Liv Morgan come out there and flirt with the Judgment Day, flirt with Dominik Mysterio? I feel like tonight you kind of have to have something surface here. You kind of have to have this storyline come full circle because I know as a fan watching romance storylines in the WWE is okay, kind of a headache, because it can kind of end. It could be good, but it could also end really, really bad. So I just, it's I don't think Liv Morgan's never better than Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry. And I'm not as high on Liv Morgan as other people are. But yeah, we're rapidly running out of time. Final couple of things. Drew McIntyre hopes to get even with the Judgment Day. Hopes to build momentum with his match against Castle at the Clash at the Castle. And also we have Ludwig Kaiser's win over Sheamus will help him land a Money in the Bank spot. And will Damian Priest, take Strowman one-on-one? Strowman he's fought in, JD. He's been attacked by Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio, all three of those guys. Damian Priest, you have to solve the Braun Strowman problem. Take it into your own hands. I'm not too sure, but should be interesting to find out what happens on Raw. Can't wait to watch it. Cannot wait. All right, so we're gonna move on to a fourth segment. We have our nope, we have our Monday Pro Wrestling Power Rankings, and we're going to dig on into the women's and the men's, all throughout wrestling, professional wrestling, Ring of Honor, TNA. I think there's even MLW or NWA star. Don't quote me on that. Also WWE. So, hey, do not go anywhere.